Thokozani bogogo, thokozani makhehla, thokozani zindlondlo. Sifusela bogogo emakhaya, sifusela nasemadlotini wethu. Awonke umuntu lolalele, sifusela nasemadlotini wami, sifusela emadloti amkhulu who is going to be teaching us today. Umkhulu Ibrahim wakhoza. Uthokoza khehla.
Thokozani gogo ninjani?
Uthokoza, siyajabula ukubona mkhulu. Thank you so much mkhulu again for taking off your time, giving of your time to teach on this platform. It's a very, I'm finding that it's actually a very, it's a platform. The spiritual school is very much needed. I think it is giving. It is filling a need that a lot of people actually do have, judging by the viewership and also by the questions that we're getting. So we are actually, it is making a difference in a lot of people's lives. Thokoza khehla. Ngiyajabula mkhulu mawukhoza. I'm always very excited to have you on. I find that the people that I'm led to learn from and to also teach with are people that are ancestrally related to myself. So I'm always excited to have you, Mkhulu. Thokoza khehla. What we're going to start with today, we're going to speak we're going to speak on iGobongo, what other people call Budlu, and some of us call Islaw. So that is it's the same thing. So when people talk of Budlu, we just know that they're speaking of the same thing, which is ukudla kwamadosi. I'm going to just leave it to you, Mkhulu, to just introduce the topic. What it actually is, Ubudlu, what it does, why it is important, and who takes it and how it is taken. Thokoza mkhulu.
Thokozani gogo. This is a very important topic today. If you're unpacking the issue of iGobongo, let me just say iGobongo, it is a Zulu word, meaning what I'm going to be saying in different languages. It is iGobongo in Zulu. They call it Situtu, Abasutu, and then Isilaw in Xhosa, and as well as Libudlu, so in different languages. So what is this? This is a mixture of herbs addressing an ancestral spirits in terms of ukudla kwabantu abadala. It is actually ukudla. It is actually imithi that deals with luck or ukuvula kwezinto, to deal with misfortunes. It's also as well as ukuphakamisa abantu abadala, and as well as insipho as well, yokugeza lamadluzi. So one, it is ukudla kwabantu abadala. Two, is ukuphakamisa. Three, is ukuvula inhlanhla. Four, is to ukugeza abantu abadala. So that is what iGobongo actually does. It is a mixture of umuthi mixed in a certain type of water, depending on the type of idlozi onalo, and as well as the herbs depends on idlozi, a type of idlozi that you actually do have. So who should eat iGobongo? Every person can eat iGobongo, but it depends to say umiselwa amagobongo or uphakamiselwa amagobongo, right? Ukumiselwa amagobongo, it is whereby, for an example, if kunemvuma kufa ekhaya, for an example, the first ritual that needs to be done when you are at home, imvuma kufa uzomiselwa amagobongo, okuyiwona that actually communicates to the family ancestral spirits to report to them that you are going somewhere. Those ukumisa kwamagobongo, it has to do more with home rituals. Then uphakamiswa kwamagobongo, it has to do with Ukuthwasa rituals, you know, because of, for an example, you find Islam mostly in the Xhosa tradition without Ukuthwasa. It is something that is normally practiced because of kusuke sekumiswa amagobongo. But when you go to ephehlweni uyophakamiselwa amagobongo, the difference is that, as I say, ukuphakamisa, meaning that there's isimpande that is addressing ukuphakamisa kwedluzi, and that can only be done ephehlweni, not at home.
Thank you for actually explaining that. That is a lesson for me as well. Uphakamisa nokumisa, ukumiselwa amagobongo nokuphakamisa amagobongo. Masikhuluma ngekumiselwa ke kwamagobongo emakhaya, like you said, that it's a home ritual. what would be the reason for umiselwa amagobongo mawusekhaya, and who would be leading that process for you?
Right. Ukumisa amagobongo, historically, let's start here in order to understand Ikebana from the historic perspective. Before Ukuthwasa. So what happened in the ancient time, people, they will go, beyolus entabeni, goes with cows and everything. Then they will mix umuti with water and create isithongo. Isithongo, it is a mixture of muti that is put in the cold water. You don't warm it. Meanwhile, imbiza, it is where you warm that, you cook that muti together, and as well with water, that is where you create imbiza. Then they will do isithongo. So isithongo, this was iGobongo on its own. So they will use it to drink it, you know, like balpethe, balidle, so that they can appeal very beautiful or handsome on women, you know. So that's how it started. So bebamisa ini amagobongo during those times. So now when times goes on, it was not only imitekanyayo yokuthandeka, but it was imithi that also addresses the spirit in terms of ukugeza abantu abadala. Uma sekumiswa amagobongo ekhaya, it simply means ukuthi it's either they inform ancestors or it's either bageza amadlozi wasekhaya mostly. And the one that actually deals with this amagobongo, it has to be somebody that is well versed in terms of medicinal plant. It's either it can be isangoma or it can be igedla, but whoever that has the vast knowledge and have the spiritual connection nabantu abadala is the one that actually needs ukumisa amagobongo nokuphakamisa amagobongo as well. Ukumisa amagobongo ugedla angawamisa, kodwa ukuphakamisa amagobongo kudinga umuntu othwasile.
Thokoza. Okay. Ugedla angawamisa amagobongo. So nasekhaya, like you said, nasekhaya umuntu lofunzile ngemithi, or somebody that knows of muti, even within their family, would be able to misa amagobongo. But
yes.
Okay, but kuphakamisa amagobongo requires an initiated or a healer. It requires a healer, somebody that actually is well versed ngale mithi. Is it possible ukuthi when in homesteads, when we are in households, that we train our children, get trained, or a specific child, or even all of the children of the home gets trained as the particular magobongos that are used in the family, in that by the clan? Is it possible to do that and pass that knowledge on, so that because as we learn of the importance of amagobongo, we know that it is something that is not just for people that are going to be initiated into being healers or into the priesthood, but it's also for just anybody that needs to hlalisa kahle amadlozi wabo. And that is something that happens with generally everybody. Like we always say, that everybody has amadlozi, and at some point lawo madlozi needs to be they also need to be recognized. The spirit also needs to be fed. Like when you introduced the topic, you spoke of the reasons why, or the importance of Ikebana, and one of those reasons was that it's also to improve the nature of your life, or the trajectory of your life, on how you're actually living, but you khulume ngayo as inhlanhla. And to improve those kind of things, it also means that, or to tap into the blessings that, or to your anointing that we actually all have as a people, because we all brought here, we come here for a purpose. Is it something that would be able to align me to my purpose, just Ikebana? And also that now that I want you to also please to speak of the different gobongos that may be used per clan or per tribe, but they also touch on the importance as well of why it is important to teach our children what it is that in our clan, amagobongo that we use in our clan, and why we use them and how we use them.
Thokoza Kokonyabo. I just wanted, before I can answer to this question and make it very clear, to say, if we are speaking about healers, we're not specifically talking about people that initiated amadlozi wabo, meaning like somebody that Ukuthwasa. we do have different types of healers that actually deals with imithi impande lesebenza emakobongweni. We do have uhlaka. Uhlaka, it is what is called unyankwabe. This is a famous way of uhlaka, unyankwabe. It's the one also that can be able to do that, apart from uketla as well. So, and also in the family, there are people that actually inherited the knowledge of impande yasekhaya, knowing what type of muti should be used for what. But they are basically for like omakatsi kanjalo. When you go to the vendor people, there are people like omakatsi who are actually knows the culture and the impande setshenziswayo within those areas. So in the Xhosa ritual processes, you'll find that kukhona utata omdala noma whosoever that can be able to do this amagobongo. You don't need to outsource inyanga from ngaphandle when you are doing rituals, because of there's somebody that is well versed in terms of that understanding. So I wanted to make it clear so that people should not fight with me and saying that we're talking about izangoma as healers. Meanwhile, there are different types of healers as well. Right. So ilentuzana amagobongo differs with the type of ancestors. Then we have different types of ancestors or different kinds of ancestors. We do have idlozilendau, we do have umdiki, we do have umguni, and so forth. So therefore, amagobongo, when they are done, for an example, you will hear people to say, no, kumele uyomiselwa nje igobongo lendiki, you know. So meaning that automatically there are certain motifs that are basically addressing the issue in Diki, to be exact. They are addressing the issue of Indiki, and they are also the ones that are addressing specifically Idlozilendau. And most of these herbs that are coming from Idlozilendau must be in a situation like Idlozilendau sila locator corner, which is emanzini. Impande zendau, they will come from emanzini, for an example. Impande zomdiki, they will come from elentuzane nentabeni as well. Nempande zomguni, they will be found from the land in terms of that. So that's why I'm saying the one that also misa noma ophakamisa amagobongo must have a vast knowledge of these spirits. He actually must have the basic understanding of these types of spirits, so that also understand ukuthi if you, for an example, you're addressing the issue of indawo elhambanani nenzunze, you need to go to amanzi wahlanganisayo must be from which place specifically, so that lelo dlozi lizokwazi ukudla into elijwayele. You cannot make somebody who does not eat yogurt to force that particular person to eat yogurt. Automatically, you might end up expelling that particular person. Same goes to a Madlutin as well, because of there are those that understand impande abayidlayo from where they are actually emanating from. I think I've answered in terms of tribes and then all those things. So therefore, talking about that as well, not only umuti and the type of water that needs to be placed and all those things. I want to touch on the issue of should we use a baguette, should you use a kamba, or should you use a pikeli? Ipikile is that element that the normally Xhosas are using. Others, they use a clay pot, sort of like a clay thing, or kamba. Others, they use a plastic like a baguette. It does not matter what you are using. What matters is what you are eating from inside. Because of automatically, we are actually categorizing it, ipikeli, ipageti, and the ilentuzana, ikamba, because of our forefathers used to use that. For an example, if you come from KZN, you'll automatically opt for it, either ukamba or ipageti. If you are coming from the Xhosa land, you'll use for ipekile and all those things. It does not matter, but what matters specifically is what is inside that and how it is steered. Okay.
There's a question here that I'm not going to let pass, Ketla. It's very relevant now as we speak on this. It's about Uti. She's asking if we can eat the different amagobongo all at once. Is that a possibility? Okay. Yeah, is a gobongo mix.
Okay, right. There is iGobongo that is mixed. It's called umadlozi wonke. That type of iGobongo is called umadlozi wonke. When you eat this type of iGobongo, it is because of, it's where now you are mixing all these types of ancestors into one isidlelo noma isithebe esisodwa so that they can eat there. But normally it will depend on the type of a person. For an example, there are certain ancestral spirits which does not want to eat in the same space. Just like me and you, Kokos Menjan, there's somebody that can feel comfortable to eat in one dish with me. But there's somebody who will feel like, no, I need my own space. So same goes to emadlotini as well. But to answer you, yes, there is iGobongo that is mixed where you can eat it for amadlozi wonke. I personally prefer that, in fact, because of I don't want people, especially when it comes to Ukuthwaseni, I don't want people to say sekulwa manje isithunywa, sekulwa indawo, sekulwa inguni. I want them to know that amadlozi ayabekezelana, and by doing so ngiwaphakamisela iGobongo endaweni eyodwa.
That's very much appreciated. I've also got from your teaching now is that from the question that I asked earlier, that is the specific gobongos or zislawu for certain tribes and clans, and from what you have taught, what I've gathered is that they actually are not according to tribe. They're actually according to the spirits. So,
yes.
Depending on it doesn't matter what tribe you're coming from or what clan you belong to, the gobongos are not tribal, or they are just, it's a spiritual matter, and they are supposed to feed the spirits from, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. So there's no discrimination, if I can use that word. It's just, it's a spiritual thing, and whether you're Nguni or Sutu or Xhosa or Tswana, you will be taking the same spiritual food because they are to feed the spirits living within you. I think I'm also going to, I just thought of something else as well, that you know how in church they will take the blood and the flag of Jesus in however form they take it. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, or whether you're also British, or everybody in that church that is partaking of it will all take the same thing. It's for the same spirit. So there's no tribal discrimination, or there's nothing like that in the world of spirit. And especially in according to this topic that we are actually discussing now, that into yinye tokoza keshe. I'm also going to now ask, I want to speak on the different rites of passage that we have as Kulma, as a child growing from childhood to adulthood to initiation. In those rites of passage, when those ceremonies or those rituals are done, is there Gobongo that is paramiswat at that time, and is there Gobongo lapa where the people going through the ritual, or whose ritual it is, are given?
Can you repeat the question? I just want to be sure.
I'm speaking of the different rites of passage that are conducted for people at the different stages of their lives. That during these rituals, are they, because a lot of them are actually ancestral based, would that be an appropriate time to paramisa iGobongo for the people whose rite of passage it is? Asikhulume ngememulo, sikhulume ngekusoka for the Xhosa, sikhulume ngembeleko from umntwana makamncane. Is that a good time to paramisa iGobongo?
Not specifically so. The reason why I say not specifically so, it is because of normally ukuphakamisa iGobongo, like I have explained, it has to do more with Ukuthwasa. Meanwhile, ukumisa amagobongo, it has to do with home rituals, not epehlo rituals, but the home rituals. So not all tribes actually do home rituals in terms of using iGobongo. They do home rituals without using iGobongo. Like for an example, when we're talking about the Zulus specifically, if they do umemulo, they do whatsoever rituals, they don't normally put iGobongo in between. But the Xhosas, they actually do, not all of them in fact, but there are some or most of them, they are doing isilawu, you know, when they do certain rituals, irregardless that it has to do with Ukuthwasa or not. As long as they communicate with their own ancestors, they believe that they will communicate better if you go shower ini leli gobongo noma islawu in that sense. So only ukuphakamiswa, that is where now we become united, all of us. In fact, iGobongo, it is the actual ipehlo, because of it has to do with steering. You know, when you steer usuku phehla, you cannot go inside ephehlweni ungaphehlelwa or ungayenzelwa leli gobongo, because of this is what you basically need to do in terms of that. But not all tribes are using iGobongo, just generally, apart from Ukuthwasa.
Okay. From our previous lesson, we also, and I also just generally do encourage that the taking of iGobongo or of isilawu, just for, it's just so that you're not only just feeding the body, but you're also feeding the spirit. I'm going to take it to the people who are based, who were Christianized, who grew up in church, that you will see how in some churches it's a every Sunday thing, every gathering thing, that is it called communion? It's called communion. That communion is taken. This is actually the same thing. That is what iGobongo is. That is what feeding the spirit is. The same reasons that they give that are given in the Bible. That is why I actually believe that a lot of the teachings in the Bible are taken, are also they also come from general life. That this is how things were done. This is how our ancestors lived. And that is my origins of the Bible. We will learn that a lot of it was taken from how things were actually done. Those are the teachings that are encompassed in that book. And Maskuluma, when we speak of now communion, that is actually what we are actually talking about when we speak of iGobongo. We're not here eating the blood of Jesus and eating the flesh of Jesus or drinking the blood of Jesus. But that is actually what we are also doing. We are feeding our spirit in the way that our ancestors did. I also, for today's lesson, I don't see any more questions, and I do not have any more questions in iGobongo, unless you have anything that you want to add, Mkulu, that I may not have asked.
Yeah.
Please add it.
Okay.
Thokozakhe.
Uyamiselwa iGobongo or uyophakamiselwa iGobongo ephehlweni. There are rules that are attached to ukudla iGobongo, which are very, very important things to follow, because of at most of the time you will find yourself doing things and you find no results, and you will blame to say iGobongo never worked for you, right? So the rules that uphakamiselwa iGobongo, one must abstain from sexual activity, irregardless that you are married or not, because of usuke uzilela labantu abadala. One thing that we must understand about iGobongo is that it is very powerful and sensitive. For an example, if iGobongo uphakamiselwa umuntu noma ulimiselwa umuntu ongekho right emoyeni, ufaka umkhokha wakhe, there's some bad energies that a person can instill into that iGobongo. That is why Nai, the one that actually does that, must be in a state of purity and being cleansed before Agmisela iGobongo, because of you yourself, Olidlayo, you must abstain from any sexual activity. That is one. Secondly, there is a diet that is attached to iGobongo. You must abstain.
Get into that, Thokoza, cool.
Oh,
That was
okay,
actually the next is diet. But
Okay.
let's wait just a second there. I would like you to expand on, okay, not to expand on. It's just it's a comment that I have, that it now brings us back to why during Ukuthwasa, that's the initiation period, people actually need to. It is important to abstain from sexual intercourse. It's not the Gobongo brings that up, the fact that you need to be the position that you need to be spiritually to be able to take Ikebana. We speak of nokuthi even ugobela akahambi uthatha amagobongo ahlanganisa amagobongo abantwana bakhe after indulging in sexual activity. That is not how it works. So the importance, it brings us back to that importance of that sexual diet, the sexual, it's a fast, that you cannot actually go and partake in that. It takes us back to also how it is important for people to actually know before they go into faith, to actually understand what it is that is required of them, so that they also understand when the wrong things are being done. The fact that Gobela cannot then go and have sexual intercourse with Nabatwana bakhe. So this what you have brought up about just Ikebana explains why why it is critical to be sexually pure during that time. So okay, you can actually go into the diet. That is what you were that's the next thing that you were going into. Towards
Gogo, siyabonga. What you've said is actually the truth. I cannot add more. It's very important to abstain from these kind of acts when you are dealing with spiritual things, apart from Ikebana on its own. As you have explained, once even normal you do umsebenzi wasekhaya, you must abstain from it, one way or the other, you know. So when we're talking about the diet of Ikebana, you must basically be careful of eating things like inyama yengulube, a pork meat, for an example. You must abstain from drinking alcohol as well. You must abstain from fish, you know, depending also or Ikebana oluphakamiselwa lona noma leli ozobe umiselwa lona as well. You must abstain from ukungena uleke uphuma emzini yabanye abantu, because of by that time ungena awazi ugandani and all those things. Then like I'm saying ukuthi umkhokha awufuneki egobongweni, you must make sure that even when you lentuzana, you do Ikebana, you go to an extent of not only a diet, to an extent of covering your shoulders as well, ngoba usuke uhlonipha labantu obadlela leli Ikebana at all time. So abstaining from fish, pork meat, from ilentuzana, from alcohol, you're abstaining from anything that will distract your mind, anything. Because of people, there are certain type of food that when you eat them, they make you hyper or they make you somehow. So you need to abstain from such, you know, so that your full concentration can be in Ikebana. Because of here we are talking about spirit channeling or spiritual channeling. When we do Ikebana, it's like siyaphatha in short, because of anyway you cannot keep quiet. Mawudla Ikebana, you must speak. So by doing so, you must be in your full mind or in your state of sanity when you are doing that. No interruption that needs to be done. And when you are eating Ikebana, you must make sure that, for an example, if it happens by mistake, that you do a certain thing, lizokutshela lona into elingayifuni. By that time, when you start eating it, for an example, you've done a wrong thing, you start eating it. After you eating it, the next few minutes, when you go back to it, selboli, within 7 days time, selboli, it tells you to say, no, there's something that we are not pleased with. So that's why and the diet is so important for you to take it to cognizance. This is what I can think of, but there is more into it. But I'm just going, I'm social cool. I'm just going to just put it in that one because of those are very basic and important.
Togoza Kesh, Togoza Mkul. I like how you speak of how you touched on that Ikebana actually speaks, Ikebana talks, because from Ikebana and its reaction and how yeah, and basically how it responds, you will know that there is actually something wrong. That if there's been any kind of sexual activity, it will actually say if we are eating the wrong things that they do not actually are not approving of. It will be evident from the reaction of Ikebana. I'm going to ask Nkulu about what is the importance of sharing Ikebana lebantwana bedlozi, because sometimes there will be Ikebana that is made for everybody that is trusting together. What is the importance there? Why are people made to share Ikebana linye at a time?
Thokoza Koko. Koko's menjalo. People, they will fight with me, but we basically need to tell the truth, irregardless what, because of we deal with impilo zabantu la, right? There's no importance at all to share Ikebana nisekuthwaseni ningabantwana ni 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7 whatsoever. You're not supposed to be doing that. I appeal to all the Kobelas not to do it as well. Not because of I know too much, because of I'm going to explain why this should not be done. You know, if somebody, for an example, like I've explained to say Ikebana, it is actually in Tsepo, you know. It is ukudla kwabantu abadala, it is imithi ekhanyisayo, and as well as Ikebana, it liphakamisa amadlozi as well. So we are not from this very same family, all of us. From time to time, we get possessed by different spirits. So these spirits, if for an example, some of them, they are not good spirits, they are going to affect the other one. So therefore, when you go inside, then you're which is Ikebana on its own. All of us, we are going there. At the end of the day, we can be contaminated by certain spirits that we are not even aware of. So it is quite incorrect, and it is completely wrong to make Ukuthwasa or any person, even in the family, whereby, for an example, sibaphakamisela Ikebana, then we start now in the family, one family, imagine. Then we are sibaphakamisela Ikebana, then we say all of them, they must come in there. Somebody somewhere is going to drop a bomb inside that Ikebana, and the people, they will start now getting otherwise. That's why you find out sometimes some dreams, they get confused because of we are not channeling one spirit from my family, but there are many spirits that get channeled in the same space of Ikebana and all those things. So in short, there is no ilentuzana, there is no importance of doing that. In fact, we must speak harshly around that because of, I know maybe some of the people, they will do it in order to say, siseva imithi. Ngoba imithi Ikebana is very expensive. It is very expensive, and there is too much, you know, and it's also sacred. Not every person understands imithi Ikebana, except that you must also go to a second stage lapho uzofundiswa khona Ikebana ukuthi liyini. We can speak about it, sibhale the way sibhala ngakhona, but it's not the true reflection of imithi Ikebana. So therefore, in that sense, I disagree completely because of these reasons to say we cannot channel different spirits into one container. Otherwise, once we're doing that, some person that is very weak, you understand? At the end of the day, somebody is going to suffer somewhere.
So I think also it also addresses the uniform twassing, which you are doing the same for all of your children who are in your space at the same time, because if you're making them eat from the one Ikebana, it means that we're also not even taking the time to listen to what it is that the specific madlotis are wanting at the time or demanding at the time. Mkhulu, there's a question about if Ikebana nokudla kwamadlozi is the same thing.
No, it is the same thing. Ikebana nokudla kwamadlozi, it is the same thing. Let me explain, for an example. A practical example. You know, the first sign of a person who's supposed to be eating Ikebana, noma phakamiselwe Ikebana, or a first sign for a person that actually do have a calling Ukuthwasa, they have an abnormal diet. You feel like sometimes you are hungry. When you prepare the food, then you are ready to eat, then suddenly you feel yourself usud. When after eating too much, suddenly you feel hungry. When you start eating, then you find the food does not get digested. Simply means that kushoda lokudla okuyigobongo emzimbeni wakho. For an example, if you are eating an orange, a human being will eat an orange, but the leaves, the stem, the woods will be used by ancestors. So automatically you might feel like you have to eat an orange, but after you eat an orange, you feel like, no, something is missing somewhere. Meaning that mhlambe kushota impande la, not the fruits per se. So it is the truth. Whoever that asked that question, ikobongo, ukudla kwabantu abadala, it's actually the meaning of ikobongo. It's one of the meaning of ikobongo as well. Thokoza.
Thokoza mkhulu. I would actually also like us to drill on the diet matter. I spoke last week. I mentioned that what happens is ordinarily you will find that there's things that actually just fall off your diet without any effort from you, that you will try before. We're speaking now of a mature dose that is ready to go to initiation. That the things that you find that now you are able to, things that you were able to eat, you find that you cannot eat anymore. You find that you are attracted to, you want food that was never really a part of your diet, of your normal diet, and that the things that you look for, now you're learning to cook new things, and that about how the diet changes. That's excuse us good. It's about how the diet will change, even before. So it also makes it. I'm just wanting to highlight the fact that it's not a difficult, when you get to a question, it's not difficult, the dietary change, because it actually falls, it happens naturally, especially also when you now actually do start taking Ikebongo. Ikebongo will not want to be taken with a whole lot of other things. No matter we speak about different mpandes and the different diets, because normally there are rules, there are mpande rules, and then there are dose rules, even according even towards the diet, that different rules that govern the space of what gets into your body and what does not get into your body. So you find that there's bandes that actually will allow everything. You can eat whatever it is that your body can take. Let me say that your body can take, and that your doses will allow. It is I'm just coming back to the diet thing, that the diet will actually, the Ikebongo will determine the kind of diet that you go into, despite bande rules, despite personal preferences. It also just kind of makes you want to eat better, and by eating better, I mean you're attracted to the things that your people used to eat. You find that now your diet is plant-based. You now prefer, you want sorghum over rice, for instance. So it's just, please touch on that, on what look well, and this is Ikebongo is liyabusa. It kind of starts ruling, because it is the thing that so as it the dot starts ruling, and it rules also not just by default. Also, the Ikebongo also makes it. It gives it lawo mandla lawo. It gives it iyayiphakamisa, like you say. It's to make the loti sit better. So as the loti sits better, the loti starts governing the space towards something.
Thokoza, that is true, Coco. Uma kuphakamiswa amakobongo, for an example, or ipudlos, tutus, ublaw, you actually uplifting, right? You're uplifting the spirit of your own ancestors. Therefore, it's like you are empowering them, you know? So when it comes to the issue of diet, it is not something very, very much strange. Because of, let's take for an example, if somebody gets pregnant as a woman, you understand, normally they will crave for something that they don't normally eat, Sometimes, somehow you can end up become so impatient. If you never had kids, let me advise those who never had kids. Sometimes you will find yourself battling with a person when he's pregnant because of the diet. They will crave something that they don't normally eat, and you'll feel like natufune attention. That it's not that. It's actually an ancestor that is ruling. So I agree with you, Gogos Menjalo, when you're saying that, because by that time when you elevate this type of spirits, they start now showing their purely existence in you. Then they will make you to crave to start having a different diet. Sometimes you find a person goes to a petreni, right? Not eating a certain type of food. Then this particular person comes back a petreni, eating a different types of food, meaning that now, because of kunalo gogo lo oseka phakanyisiwe ngamaphakama inside of iGobongo, makaseka phakeme uphakama with the diet yakhe specifically, that this is what basically needs to do. Because of in a certain time, for an example, you find you grew up not smoking. When you grow up, when you become a sangoma, you start smoking. Then people start questioning to say, right, you understand? But there is a difference between ukwanzela idlozi nokuzenzela wena. The difference is simple. Idlozi, they are not extremists when it comes to whatsoever that they want. They're not eating like us, you understand? For an example, you must eat breakfast, lunch, supper, and whatsoever that you need to eat, and a snack in between. But idlozi, once walbegala is tebega one, maybe after 3 months or a year, that is where now you will be able to do it. That's how we differentiate if this thing belongs to idlozi or it belongs to a person. But it matters not with who it belongs to, because of the two spirits now of Uteli no Simenjalo are in one body now. We see Uteli, but there's a state whereby Simenjalo will manifest, and we will know what if it's Simenjalo, uzofuna apple. If it's Koko Dabla Tambo or whatsoever, uzofuna in. We already know in terms of it is true, iGobongo contribute in terms of the diet when it becomes elevated. And remember, this iGobongo we're talking about here, ileli eliphakanyiswayo elinamithi ebizwa ngokuthi amaphakama, not the one elimiswayo, ngoba leli elimiswayo, it does not have a certain type of muti inside. Thokoza.
I think we have actually covered this topic. And I like that you actually brought, we really have, we brought on, you brought up even the smoking situation, where we can go also about how a lot of, it happens a lot that we see Tangoma, and then we also hide our habits behind idlos. Idlos lami was belibhema kakhulu, idlos lami belithanda tshwala, idlos lami lithanda tshwala. Sesiyafihla uthi tshwala kimi lengikuthandayo. Idlos lami was an alcoholic, or but also we forget that Ledloti wants to work. It wants to work, it wants to heal, or in whatever way that it wants to be healing. And we also should not then make it impossible for the body to be able to carry out the work that the Loti actually wants to do. So I know that we are running out of time, and I would like for you to speak on a topic that we're going to speak on next week, just briefly, Ukuparula, because Kulbang twice, and yes, I think it's appropriate that we speak on Ukuparula, what Ukuparula is. We're going to Naba, we're going to speak more at length about it next week, but please touch on it, Ukulu, Togos.
Okay, Togos. Firstly, before I touch on this topic, I want to say here on record, Gogos Menjalo, you are doing a good thing. I personally say so. Irregardless of whosoever would say we cannot speak of iGobongo, we cannot speak of Ukuparula, you understand? Therefore, they must address it with us, why we agreed to speak of such things. Because we need to protect Ubinyanga and tell the truth the way it is, right? Ukuparula, it is whereby it's a ritual actually. Ukuparula, it's a ritual of the Ndau ancestral spirits, whereby there are certain rituals that must be done. We call them the river rituals. That needs to be done emfuleni with the animals esebenzisana nomdawu sitamajuba noma inkukhu, you know, chickens. And they have to be white anyway in color. When we do parula, we are actually doing a certain ritual whereby we are going to do the home return of the spirits esiyindawo. Why we need to do this uparula? Because of we definitely know that indawo it's a water spirit. So if we need this indawo to be effective into our body, we need to go liolando bese liyedliswa intwaso ngoba kunentwaso yomdawo on its own that needs to be done. And by that time, after everything that has been done, so dlila amagobongo endawo and all those things, the final stage is that kumele uyoparula. After uparula ubuye uzodlisa impande leli ndawo elifunayo ekhaya, which I'm not going to go in details on that in any day in time, but ukuparula is all about the home return of the ndawo ancestral spirits, whereby the ndawo, most of them imimoya yabo yaphelela emanzini emunamusapa, you know. There's a history behind that. It's a water spirit because of it's not the spirit of a fish. It's not the spirit of a snake. It is not the spirit of a crocodile, but it is a spirit of a human being that once lived, who is speaking the Chindau language. That is why we say Indau. Therefore, baphelele laphayana. Then ihlahla or umlahla bantu noma umlahla nkosi or whatsoever, it cannot attract umoya wedlozi from emanzini, except that kumele siwulande ngokuthi singene emanzini. Once singene emanzini sesiphuma nalamadloti, that is the part of ukuparula, but it can be done in separate way. But specifically uparula, you must do it when you have endowed ancestral spirits. If you don't have endowed ancestral spirits, you cannot parula, unfortunately.
And we're speaking of parula umdawo, and then I also would like for you to just briefly speak on Inzuza, because it's also a water spirit. Okay, it's been said it's a water spirit. It is also, is it also parulad? That is the question.
Yes, it does. Inzuza nendawo, they both go hand in hand. For an example, if you are eating or initiating endowed ancestral spirits, you are automatically including Inzunza inside, you know, because of these two spirits, they are all work hand in hand. I will tell you, because of people, they might not know why I say so. Inzunza, it is actually a mixture of African and white, let me say European, not European per se, but black and white ancestral spirits. Ne? It's a combination of the black and white ancestral spirits with different cultures as well. So therefore, before the white people came into Southern Africa, they met with the Ndau people in Mozambique. They're the first people to come into Africa were the Portuguese before the Dutchies in 1652. So when they met there, they started having families. So therefore, you understand that most of the people who are actually from Mozambique, it's either they speak Portuguese a lot, but they have their own language, which is called Chopi, the Tsonga, whatsoever languages. So therefore, if they are the Ndaus, they will have the blood of the mixture between the white and black people, which we call it Inzunza. I am not talking about Mami Water and Inzunza, that is called as a deity. This is a different thing. Here I'm talking about an ancestral spirit called Inzunza, which is also, Inzunza will be parulak. If you go to Mozambique, then people, when they twasa and they go to water, they say asiparulum daugot asiparula injuzu. Injuzu, it is what? It is that Inzunza that we're talking about. So that's why the dreams of Inzunza and the Noindau, they're always similar most of the time. You dream of snakes, some they will say Inzunza, some they will say Indau. Because of these two, they are co-joined somewhere, somehow. If you parula Indau, you are actually also parula Inzunza at the same time. Thomas.
Thomas, thank you so much, Mkulu, for touching on that. We will be delving more into the spiritual, into spirit teachings in
Yes.
module 2, where we will be doing the different kinds of ancestors or the different kinds of spirits. I would like to say thank you so much, Mkhulu. I know we have run out of time. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much, Mguno. That is how we would bonga you. Mguno logo tayo. Siyabonga kakhulu Mkhulu. Basi nimazala Nkosi.
Simazala Nkosi. Hey, besimelana.
Nimazala Nkosi nina benguni basebuhleni. Thokoza Mkhulu. Ngicela uvalelise Mkhulu, and assure the viewer that you will be back in the next not the next lesson, but in the coming modules, that you will keep coming to share of your knowledge, Mkhulu Thokoza.
Thokozani Gogo. I want to thank everybody that has tuned in, and those who have not tuned in, the people that also will be tuning in future. And thank you, AfroSavvy, as well. We are doing a great work. You know, even if I can be busy so much, but when AfroSavvy will make a call, will make an arrangement, because of I understand your goal. And I am willing to support your goal as well, so that people will understand the truth. Because of by doing this initiative, you are actually helping a lot of people. Togos.
Togos, maybe just explain why I actually found the need to do this. It was because also of my own journey, how I struggled to get information, to just get one resource where I could learn systematically about what I was going through. It's someone that would take me and just hold my hand and show me, okay, when now this is what is going on at this point. This is actually maybe the solution, or this is what you should be looking at. That is why actually for me the spiritual class or the spiritual school is actually important. It's just sharing of knowledge. It's just something that I wished I had also heard when I started on this journey. So Bantu Labanderani Mkhulu, I will always appreciate, because I actually found that on social media that there were people that I could take from, and people whose sole purpose was to actually share and to teach. And I find that it is actually really important to have that kind of resource. I always go back to the Bible. As a Christian, I always knew where to go. It was always the Bible. So that is actually what we try to address as AfroSavvy. Just be the Bible, just be the resource that people can tap into and be able to find information that they need. Thank you so much. We actually do appreciate you, and do come on. If you cannot view this live, it is going to come on to YouTube shortly. I think by Tuesday or Tuesday evening it will be on. So if you missed the lesson, you will find this next time. Thank you very much. We will see you next week, Saturday, when we are having lesson 6. And I'm hoping that we're going to have Mkhulu Manzolwandle back with us. Thokozani Makesh.